Welcome back, everybody. It's been way too long since we've done another Campfire Chronicles episode, but damn it, we're going to wrap this season up maybe sooner than later. God damn it, Charlie.
I think that was the end song to this movie.
Good. Yeah. No, it's Charlie's ringtone.
This week.
Is that where you got it from?
Oh my God! Like,
I'm sorry.
dun 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 dun.
The Magnificent Seven.
We all know it's the end of the Dawn of the Dead.
So yeah, it's been a little while, but we're back. John, Danielle, Justin, Charlie, and Abby, and we are talking about Justin's pick this week, Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, and it stars Ken Foree, who we have met at Sinister Creature Con, and he was a hoot and a holler, as he is in this film. Charlie, how you feeling? Feeling good?
I feel like that's a loaded question, Jim.
All right.
How am I feeling about Dawn of the Dead?
Or in general. It's been a little bit since we've done a podcast.
Yeah, it hasn't been a while long, has it?
You bought a car?
That's true. I did buy a new car out of necessity, not out of any desire to do it. Dawn of the Dead I saw a long time ago. Justin and I were talking about it. I saw it on VHS for the first time, and it's amazing how if you go back in time and you think about watching the movie, you know, at that time in that place, it seems almost like a different movie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And watching it years later, it seems like a completely different movie. But yeah, it's considered a classic. It's one of the first horror films, modern horror films, that kind of took a view of current affairs and consumerism and society in general.
Kind of put it in everyone's face.
It did.
Danielle, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Was your heart still all aflutter from meeting Kane Hodder?
Yes. Just wish I would have said more. Didn't know what to say, but yeah.
In other news, I will be going to John's house for WWE pay-per-views moving forward, as I have canceled my subscription to the WWE Network. Damn, Charlie nodding very approvingly at that. It's just not good anymore, John.
No.
Professional wrestling is garbage.
Well, just WWE. There's plenty of other brands out there now.
It's just done and all. It's over with. It's okay.
Well, it's bad when their lower ones, NXT and like 205 Lives, are more entertaining than their flagship shows.
Yeah, they're not though. It's all pretty terrible across the board right now, and no one can watch AEW. It's not on fucking television, Hulu.
Yeah, it's not on.
You get some shitty, like,
sometime in the
3-second clips.
Sometime in the fall, it'll be coming to us weekly.
TNT.
We'll see. Dawn of the Dead, Crone, your pick. This film had to have made an impression on you then.
It did. It was one of those, like Charlie was saying, one of those things that when you were watching on VHS as a kid, and it pushed the envelope of gore and special effects, and it had Tom Savini running the special effects, and he was in it. And as a kid, I remember it kind of giving you a little more anxiety when you were watching it, and now I watched it and I didn't remember all the whimsical features of the movie. Yeah. It was interesting, but it's like you said, it's a classic. At the time period, it really pushed the envelope, and that envelope's been pushed way further now. So when you go back and you watch it through the lens of today, it's different. I wouldn't say it's bad, it's just different.
Abby, you coming into your interview with Billy Zane in a couple months, closer than you think. Sinister Creature Con October. How you feeling about life right now and Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, you put Billy Zane and Dawn of the Dead next to each other? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven, I think.
Which one's higher, Abby?
Huh?
Which one's higher?
Higher?
Yeah.
Billy Zane.
By
I haven't been able to stop saying his name since he was announced. So it's been it's funny because I have to go up to people and be like, I'm going to interview Billy Zane. And they're like, who's Billy Zane? I'm like, what?
Wow.
How do you know who Billy
how do you
But
describe?
then you tell him who it is, and he's like, oh yeah, okay, that guy.
Do you say the bad guy from Titanic?
Yeah, because you have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing, is that he's in all these other really good movies, like Tombstone's one of my favorite movies, and he played a really
John-
good role.
John
But,
Oswald,
yeah,
I can tell, loves that movie.
It's such a good
It's one of my favorite
freaking
westerns.
western. It's my favorite western. Anyways, but Dawn of the Dead is interesting.
All right. So Dawn of the Dead, we start off and we see they're dressed like SWAT team members, but they're actually crooks. It's a band of crooks. And the first thing that stands out to me is when they make their way to the project building and the zombie apocalypse has happened and these guys are shooting through the project building and every one of the zombies is a black male. It's pretty fucking crazy. Do you think that was just a straight up political statement, Charlie?
Yeah, I think it probably was in a way. I think it was probably that, all these victims are clustered together and they're all black and they're all poor. I think that was probably part of it because you notice they weren't as much in evidence at the mall,
Yeah.
right? Which is the center of all the...
There was still a few, but nowhere near as close to the projects.
Right. But they were kind of, separated. They're like two different groups of zombies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was on purpose.
Well, and remember at the end of Night of the Living Dead, the only survivor was the black man.
It's true.
And when he came out, he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of continues with that theme of what's been happening in the 60s and 70s in America. So,
Yeah.
there's got to be some political, historical overtones there.
Danielle, how do you feel about this movie?
I dig it because when I was younger, obviously it was more like you
Prominent.
said, yeah, like scarier for when you're younger, like you freak out. But no, I laughed so much. I don't even know if I've laughed that much in like a horror movie. But that was pretty funny. No, but I love corny, so.
This is the best case scenario zombie apocalypse movie. Because once they get their way to the mall, they have emergency like nuclear warfare supplies that are stacked from floor to ceiling. And the entire mall works. It has electricity, running water. Each store is supplied with convenient shit. Like there's a full-on gun shop.
And
That's
grocery
just-
store.
And a grocery store. Like,
And tons of med supplies, morphine. and everything.
yeah, pharmacy and shit. Like,
Yeah.
this is like the jackpot. None of this shit is at our mall. If we went to our mall, we've got like Cinnabon and Panda Express
Mm-hmm.
and
Hot Topic.
You could build a bear.
and
Yeah,
you can
Build-A-Bear.
build a bear. I used to have beds at JCPenney's that you can sleep on,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but that's about where it ends. Like,
So
what
sad.
happens when we run out of hot dogs on a stick?
But remember our mall 15, 20 years ago. Remember Vintage Fair and the way it was before? It was pretty well equipped.
Yeah, it
A
had
lot
a
of
lot
different
more.
stores.
Well, you can tell for the time frame, it was one of those things where like malls back then were probably like meant to have everything.
Everything.
One stop shop, you go there for your groceries.
Right.
Anything you could ever think of, you go there for. Which is funny that nobody else went there, any survivors, and it just happened to be this small group.
Yeah. So
Well, and that's sort of the theme of Stranger Things this season is the mall killing Main Street America.
Yeah.
By bringing all of the stuff in one location, flashy,
And being the hangout.
the hangout, and
right.
True.
Yeah, it's super interesting. The whole Stranger Things thing is an homage to this film. Like, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
Maybe 8-legged freaks.
So these guys are just really, most of this film is these guys are like just living at this mall with zombies in the mall, but they like wrangle the zombies all up from time to time. The blonde chick is pregnant. Ken Foree and the other white guy go on missions every once in a while.
Cooper.
One white guy gets bit like halfway through the movie. He makes it through another like 20% of the films, and then he finally dies. Ken Foree,
He lasted a long time after getting bit.
yeah, like a
He did.
super long
A
time.
long time.
And the other dude was like
Yeah.
that.
There's a scene where dude's getting ripped apart. His intestines are getting ripped apart. That was cool. Tom Savini and his other brother in the motorcycle gang and all that happens.
That was one of the big things in the original, was the scene where the young couple gets blown up in the pickup when they're trying to get gas.
Mm-hmm.
And then the zombies come and they're picking up the entrails and like the intestines and, you know, eating them. So we got the colorized version of that in this movie.
So that shot was pretty risque back in the day, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, it was in the original.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you up the ante when you put it in color. So, yeah.
Abby, what was your favorite part of this film?
The blue zombies.
The blue zombies.
I'm just kidding. A lot of the special effects were really, really neat and, exciting for that time. Like when you first watch it and you're like, whoa, that guy's getting ripped apart.
Yeah.
But as far as it goes, I don't know if I really... Yeah, that would be my favorite part of the movie. Yeah. Like the special effects. That's my favorite part of the movie.
All right, John, what's your favorite part, your most valuable player, if you will?
Well, obviously Peter is MVP. But my favorite part is probably when they first start figuring out how to, like, close off the mall and they start actually setting the plan in motion to clear it out.
And then, who's your favorite character, Peter?
Yeah.
Who's your least favorite character?
Steven. Flyboy.
So you enjoyed him? Yeah. You enjoyed his death? That dude, when he stumbles out of the elevator, his ankles, that was fucking gross.
He was probably the best looking zombie, though. He played off probably the best looking zombie with, like, the dead leg and everything. And
yeah, he was like
gore.
folding
He was
his ankle
completely
in half.
covered in blood. You didn't see a whole lot of the other zombies really covered in blood, so he was, as a zombie, he stood out for sure.
Yeah, I think he's the first one that looked dead and not confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of confused zombies in this movie. That was a trend. Like, everybody's very big-eyed and terrified in this film. Zombies and non-zombies.
Yeah. It's even that awkward, apparently, after sex scene that we've seen.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. They never show him do it, but they show him both half naked.
Yeah, that was kind of a semi-nude scene because it was in shadows. And
Yeah.
you can see
But they're
the
both
top
like-
half of her.
They're both, like, crying.
They both looked like they just had a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
It was not good.
It did not go well.
And then she's pregnant. Like, she has her entire pregnancy over the course of this film.
And a lot of wine.
Why, when they read...
And cigarettes.
Dude, yeah.
Really smoking.
For someone who's pregnant, this bitch is not slowing down at all.
I'm thinking in the late 70s, if there was
People
so much
didn't
emphasis
I
focus
think
on
they
that.
still
Yeah.
I think they still drank wine.
Yeah.
They were smoked.
Jesus, like, maybe you should slow down, Tammy. You're pregnant. Nah, it's all right. My kid's not gonna be a pussy. But you keep drinking, hon. Our son's not gonna be a bitch.
No, the dad was.
Yeah.
Dude, he totally was. That guy was fucking worthless. The blonde guy was more annoying.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, because he howled every time he did something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
He was like a
weird.
cowboy.
It's like a wolf's howl or something,
Yeah.
like a coyote or some shit. Yeep, yeep, yeep.
But the fact that he wanted that bag so bad was. Do we even know what was in there?
It's probably like drugs, meth, or whatever.
I don't know. After he got bit, he got all the morphine he needed. So what was?
True.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Family pictures.
I mean, if they would have explained it, maybe it would have been like, oh, okay. But he's like, oh,
Yeah, they
my
didn't-
bag.
You got a whole mall full of shit that's in your
Yeah,
bag.
exactly.
Why was it so important?
The zombie antivirus.
Yeah, it was in the bag.
But that's that's kind of that subplot, or not really subplot because it's pretty overt, but
Yeah.
the feeling that everybody wants their possessions.
Mhm.
Even the zombies, they're coming to the mall because they remember that
Yeah.
connection with things, and
Yeah.
they're driven to go there.
Well, and that goes back to like the project house with, most of the zombies being, African American. And then
Right.
at the mall, you have these ladies that are all in the dresses and everything. Like they're used to going to the mall, so that's why they're there.
And that's available to them in their normal lives. It was available because they can go and spend the money and
Yeah.
acquire possessions.
Well, in our little group that landed there, had they just stuck with the basic necessities that they had and not had to go out
True.
and get more and more and more, they'd have been fine. They wouldn't
Stop the presses because he's trying to come in so quietly. Nick Shalita is here on the show. So this movie, I think we're all actually going to agree on this film. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about our virtual scare park. So right now, Charlie, what do you want to hear first? The rides, the scare zones, or the mazes we've selected?
I want to hear the mazes first.
The mazes first. So we had 10 mazes going into this year. So far, I'm going to rank them in the order that we love them the most to the order that we love them the least.
These are real places.
We'll go least to highest. Least to highest. We'll build the anticipation. So I would say our least favorite, but we thought was deserving to have a maze would be Hellraiser. Then right neck and neck with it. No, actually, least probably Tales from the Crypt. Then Hellraiser right there. But then we got Terrifier, La Llorona, and then our most favorite right now would be Jason Takes Manhattan, obviously. Charlie nodding his head solidly in approval. John, out of these maze announcements that we have had so far, which one of these mazes would you as a fan just be, I cannot wait to see what they build and to walk through this maze?
For me, actually, I think Terrifier would probably be the scariest one.
Maybe it'd be creepy.
I mean, La Llorona would be pretty good as well. Tales from the Crypt would just be iconic to see what they would do for it in the scenes that they could create because you kind of have more options.
Jason X. Or Jason Friday. Jason Takes Manhattan. Go ahead.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Danielle, I know you got common sense. What would be your most excited maze that you would be going to first?
I'm gonna go with La Llorona because that movie creeped me out.
It was a very good movie.
Yeah,
Like we were
right.
instantly like 10 out of 10. She's the icon.
Oh yeah.
And then we decided to add 3 more icons with her for season 4, and Pinhead and Art the Clown are 2 out of those 3. Yeah, that movie was scary. It was way scarier than Annabelle Comes Home. Annabelle Comes Home, not a bad film, not anywhere close to as scary as La Llorona. That's why I didn't even say, hey, let's do that for this show. Annabelle comes home.
I think something that La Llorona just had going for it was it had the jump scares, but also just had that creep effect.
Yeah.
Like they literally just had to show a scene of her standing there, and you felt uneasy.
Yeah.
So I think that was what helped just that whole film together.
Abby, what would be the first maze out of those 5 you would run to?
I would run to, gosh, out of all of them, because I haven't seen La Llorona yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's pretty scary because you guys keep talking about it, and I would really like to see it. But I really think that the Tales from the Crypt. Wait, would we do Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because of the nostalgia of it, I would probably go to that one first, just to see what they did with it, or what you did with it.
Probably right after you went to Jason Takes Manhattan, since they're right next to each other, right?
Only if Jason Takes Manhattan gave me a Manhattan afterwards.
You could drink it at. Well, no, you probably spill it if you tried to drink it as you went through the maze.
Sippy cup.
Right.
Oh,
So
shit, a
I'm thinking
sippy
that
cup.
I can
That's a
pound
good
it
idea.
Before I get there, right?
A Manhattan in a sippy cup that's in the shape
just-
of either. Dude, no,
They
actually.
just have it at
Special
the bar.
edition sippy cup, the Statue of Liberty with Jason's mask.
Oh my
Boom.
god. Sales went through the roof.
Sold.
There it is.
There it is.
just
Now
paid
I'm
for
ready
the whole event.
Manhattan
Yep.
ride.
And you get it. They just hand it to you as you walk through that maze. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
They could do it in the bar scene in the ship, so halfway through
Oh,
before you get to Manhattan.
So you've been sipping a Manhattan the whole entire time?
Yeah. Partying
I'm
with
really
that one
sold on
guy.
that cup idea, to be honest.
It's a pretty dope idea.
It really.
I am gonna make that maybe our 5-year logo here in a couple
Statue of
weeks.
Liberty with Jason Mask.
Life, liberty,
Damn,
and
how did
horror
they not
for
have that for
everybody.
the movie?
That's awesome.
Like that should have been like the promo for the movie.
Yeah, I think instead they just did the I, and then it was Jason's mask, and then NY.
Yeah, no, that's
But
not.
that
really
I love
good.
New York. They're like, hey, that's simple.
I mean, they've sold a shitload of those T-shirts.
Yeah.
Charlie, first maze you'd be running to?
I'd be running to La Llorona because that was the scariest movie I think I've seen
In a
this
while. Crone?
year. It was.
I'm going Hellraiser.
No.
Just because I want to see what they do with all of the Cenobites and all of the. I mean, that's endless what you could do with that. So, and that movie freaked me out.
Yes.
Jimmy.
It's a tough call, man. It's a tough call. Yeah.
Honest.
Is that time?
Be honest.
Yeah, no.
Don't do it out of spite. Do it.
Oh,
out of
I'm not doing
God.
anything out of spite, Charlie.
No.
Yeah, like I would probably go first. I would probably go to Hellraiser. Probably just to see the Cenobites, see Chubbs and
Chatter.
Shatter. See if they do the if it's a montage or if it's just the first one. It's just Frank raping people and running around. That'd be the question. Like, is the banging scene in that maze? You walk around them just banging it out, because that is easily a third of that fucking movie is them banging it out.
I mean, I guess it depends on the event. Is this R-rated or PG-13?
And another 15% is them messing around when he's just half of a corpse.
Yeah, is that the definition of a sex addict? I
Like,
mean, he doesn't even have a body.
It's so sloppy.
come on, it's a love
Yeah,
story.
it's
It's just for love. It's a
God.
love story.
That's damn. Maybe I would go to Jason Takes Manhattan for it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear next, Charlie? Rides, Scare Zone. Our show also, by the way, is Sardou's Torture Chamber show or whatever. So do you want to talk about rides next, Charlie, or Scare Zones?
Scare zones.
Yeah, two fucking Charlie's 2 for 2 in this fucking department. 5 scare zones available this year. 2 of them have been filled. Charlie's second favorite movie of 2019, Pet Sematary.
I did like it. I wouldn't say it's my second favorite movie, but I liked it.
And then Charlie's Christ figure, Joe Bob Briggs, and The Last Drive-In. Polar ends of the park as far as scare zones. So it's like a love sandwich for you, Charlie. One end, you
It
got
is a Charlie
on the
sandwich.
top, you got Pet Sematary. On the bottom, you got Joe Bob.
And me in the middle.
And you in the middle.
The tasty.
It's a sandwich.
Out of these 2 scare zones, Charlie, though, if you had to pick one to witness, I mean, what maze did you say that you actually I should do it that way? You said you were going to go to La Llorona first, right? So there's one scare zone that has not been named that you would encounter first, but then you would eventually walk through Pet Sematary first. Abby, what maze did you say you were going to go to first? Tales from the Crypt, right?
Yes.
The first scare zone you would encounter is the Blast Drive-In.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Danielle, you said La Llorona, so another Pet Cemetery. Crone said Hellraiser. So you would actually encounter the one that we haven't named yet and then be at your maze. John said La Llorona.
No, Terrifier.
Terrifier, so same for you. Unencountered scare zone. And I said Hellraiser, so that unencountered scare zone that's at the front of the park is going to be the most trafficked.
The one I'd be the most excited to go through is Joe Bob Briggs Drive-In.
Danielle,
Yeah.
out of the 2 right now, what would you say?
For which one?
Pet Sematary and Joe Bob Briggs.
Oh, Joe Bob.
Oh wow, Joe Bob way more popular.
That scare zone just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It really does.
Like when we talked about it, it was like,
Yeah.
shut up and take my money.
So 4 out of our 7 rides are actually solidified. We decided.
You know, we can't
We got the Ecto 1 virtual simulation experience. We got the Reanimator Dark
More
Ride.
Dark Ride.
We got the La Llorona River Cruise, and we got the Tales from the Crypt Coffin Ride. And that's where our theme park stands right now. Now, do you think this movie deserves a spot? And what do you want it to be? Ride, scare zone, or haunted house? Keep in mind, we have 5 spots for ride. 5 spots for house, 3 for scare zone, and 3 for ride. John, do you think this should be in this house or in this park
Yeah.
as
Haunted house.
as a haunted house? Just recreating the film,
Yeah.
walking through
Build the
different
mall and everything. Have you go into the mall.
scenes. Yeah.
Because then there's all the tight quarters in the mall that you can recreate. Our favorite scene of all the pipes in the shadow. Zombie. And the ricocheting bullets everywhere.
Right on.
But no, it'd just be cool to like go through that mall setting and go in the different and like the different stores, and you can have zombies jumping out all over the place.
Yeah.
It just offers so much just in the mall alone.
Danielle.
I would probably go with the scare zone.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I get it with the whole mall aspect, but I think it might do better with the scare zone.
Would you want the scare zone to resemble the inside of a mall, or would you just want zombies in the street?
Probably bring the mall aspects in a little bit because that's kind of where it took place. But I mean,
Store facades or something?
yeah. I wouldn't have to be
Gotcha.
my ideal.
Charlie leaving. Crone.
Just for a second.
I can see both. I kind of like the idea of it being a haunted house and keeping you in like really confined quarters and making you feel a little claustrophobic, and then adding in the zombies and sort of the chase, and then I could picture various settings and people in various states of being eaten around,
Yeah.
and so you get the visual, you get the jump scares, you get the panic of being a little caught, trapped,
Right.
and then you fold all that in with the mall setting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to raise your adrenaline.
And then they can have the bikers pie you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, get equal seltzer.
Or you
shot.
get to pie a zombie in the face on your way out.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
All that was my favorite scene. Like the bikers come in and do all that and then get all tore up. That was my favorite scene.
Abby, what would you say?
Either a scare zone or a house, because the mall, just if it was set up like a mall, would be awesome. It's a cool concept of being transported into a space that we know today.
Yeah.
So I think that a house would work better than a scare zone,
Mm-hmm.
just because you could set it up to where you're walking through the double doors or whatever, or the automatic doors, and it's a mall and it's cool, and you're like, wow, it's a mall, and then all this shit comes out at you, and I don't know. I think a
So
house.
you're saying almost do both.
You could do both. You could do the courtyard, the parking lot of a mall when and that's the scare zone, and then you walk into
Yeah,
the
with the
house and it's the
trucks
freaking
and
mall.
stuff.
The trucks.
The scare zone leading into the house.
It'd be kind
That's
of
a good
cool.
idea. Yeah.
You have to go through the parking lot to get into the mall. That'd be really cool, actually, because then you actually feel like you were being in the zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd be chased by these zombies. They're around you, and then you have to go into the mall. I
Yeah.
like that. I like both.
Charlie, do you think that this merits a scare zone and a house? Do you think it merits either one?
I would like to see it as a house.
Yeah.
But I think if it was the house, it would be enough.
Gotcha. So just the house.
I think so. I think it would lend itself to a house, and just because the movie carries so much weight, if in the horror world,
Mm-hmm.
you say Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah, the
everybody
name.
knows what the movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know what the expectations are. They know what it's famous for. It's famous for the head exploding. It's famous for the graphic horror.
Yeah.
I think you could actually make the haunted house a lot scarier than the movie was.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably.
And I think even if you haven't seen it, you've heard of it, or some
Yeah.
concept of it. I think it's that deep in sort of the cultural fabric.
Does anybody think that it's worth both?
I'd like to see it as both.
I do.
I say just stick with the house, and you can still include the trucks and have some zombies wandering in front of the facade.
Yeah.
But
That'd be cool.
I think that alone would be fine instead of taking up 2 spots.
So we're two yes, 2 no, Shalita. I
For
don't
sure, a ride.
oh shit, you want it to be a
You
ride?
get in one of those little cups and have it about to turn a corner, and then boom, zombie pops up, cup goes the other way, you accidentally bump into your crush. It's a great time for everybody.
I mean, I think the blood pressure machine could be the ride.
Oh, cuffs you in. You can't get out. That's your own
Right.
safety restraint.
Oh my gosh.
But that would be a fun thing to incorporate with the haunt.
No, the freaking wheelbarrow thing that they were.
Or you could be on a motorcycle, a little sidecar.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be like Hagrid's motorbike ride.
Oh my god, you could
Storm the mall, storming the mall.
You could call it storming the mall. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Way to go, Nick.
Damn.
Nailed it.
That's a mic drop effort.
They could give you a little.
Does anybody want
zombies
storming the
and
mall in this
Shit.
part?
Dude.
One of the 3 rides left, you get in a motorbike with Tom Savini. Tom Savini is the fucking pre-show thing.
Oh,
Like
I'm
like
Yeah.
fucking Hondo
Yeah.
and Naka
Okay, I
in
think-
Smuggler's Run. Tom
It could be-
Savini's just like, we're gonna fucking kill and rape everybody, and then we'll fuck these zombies up too. Get on the fucking bike. Fuck yeah, Tom Savini. You get on the bike fucking peels out. there's like a projection thing. You fucking just drive through the mall window, and it's just an indoor fucking roller coaster, Hagrid style with zombie
About
animatronics.
Hell
paintball guns and you get to shoot
Yeah.
zombies.
Oh, fuck.
Dog.
Yeah.
Even better. See,
The
that's
second
hard.
you
It's like
put that in there,
Minecraft.
like anything that has zombies, that should automatically be an option.
And there's like fire, like Snelling.
Fucking explosion.
Yeah. No, yeah, I vote for that. I
Yeah.
want that experience.
I'd
gonna
say
change
that'd
my
be-
vote.
I'd say that would be
The second you
pretty.
said we're riding with Tom Savini,
I'm the
all in.
side
I don't even-
car.
it doesn't need to be a house. It just needs to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storming the
Yeah.
mall.
Yeah.
So
True.
everyone's taking the houseboat away in favor of the ride.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Not both, just the ride.
Because I think Dawn of the Dead needs to be featured in some form, but yeah, I
Right.
think the ride would be. Just because I think it's going to be hard to find rides that are different,
Yeah,
and this is
Mhm.
easily different. So
Change
yeah.
the landscape of this game forever.
you did. You changed the entire season.
Plus, I think it'll add that hype and the fun of, the whole shooting and running through.
Everything.
Yeah.
Abby, are you for just doing the ride instead of the maze and the ride?
Yeah.
All right,
Why not?
Abby. Can tell you got a lot invested in it, Ab. I appreciate it. So it is the ride, the Tom Savini motorbike adventure.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
So, oh shit, that's that. Later on this week, tomorrow, we will have a podcast of the Marvel panel from San Diego Comic-Con. You can hear, if you haven't watched it yet, you can hear all about Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then Friday, we will have a special, I don't know what we're going to call it, Campfire Chronicle or Horrific Podcast, but it'll be a special one as we try to figure out an escape room from Exit Escape Modesto. I don't like our chances. I have literally escaped from every escape room I've ever done, and I feel like we're not going to make it this time.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a feeling, dog.
Then they said nobody's done their escape room
This is-
in like less than like 45 minutes.
We literally did
Wow.
it. We literally did it with 10 seconds left. The National Treasure one. Like, that bitch was counting down, and I was like, Thomas Jefferson. And it's all, do, you have escaped. I'm like, oh, shit. That's like scoring a goal in a playoff hockey game with like 2 seconds left. So,
Damn, so what ride is everyone most excited for now?
the Tom Savini ride. This is number one little boy. Like, I want to do this ride more than I want to do some mazes. So we got that. We also got the Jala show coming up tomorrow night. Actually, if you're in the Northern California area, or tonight, as you're listening to this recording, this evening at 7 p.m., we're hosting a showing of Jaws at the State Theater. So get ready for that. And then next week, we actually left it up to the audience. I posted a poll on Facebook and Instagram and everything. I said 8-legged freaks for John and I, or Deaf House because. What, Abby? Abby, what'd you say? I don't know. Okay, so we posted 8-legged freaks or Deaf House on the poll, and Deaf House is one like ridiculous. It's a fucking landslide
Oh shit!
on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's just Deaf
Has
House.
nobody ever even heard of 8-legged
Deaf House
freaks?
dominating. So next week, Charlie, your buddy Kane Hodder. We'll see what you think of this film. But first, yeah, we have the Jaws showcase and the escape room adventure, which will definitely be interesting. Yeah, and then next week we'll have more content. We'll have Encore History because John and I are about to record an episode next week early. And thank you for listening. Our scare park is filling up slowly but surely. And yeah, talk to you next week.